From the Depths, Noob Campaign, Episode 9. Today we begin against the Onyx Watch, and we have all new ships. You are looking now at the completely redesigned Thug. It is now all metal and it has bigger guns, as well as RTGs, electric batteries, redesigned shields, PID stabilization, rocket assisted steering, much improved guns, and many more little details that I can't even remember now. Also today you'll see the new missile ship, which is completely redesigned as well. But first, let's actually declare war on the Onyx Watch. That's kind of important. Okay, it's set now. Today's task will be to go after the 3 close easier squares and see if our ships are good enough. It's going to be a limited fleet. I'd ideally rather have another gunship as well as 1 or 2 of my little new mini torpedo ships. This will be exciting. I have no experience against the Onyx Watch, so my new redesigned ships are kind of just a presumption of what I think I'm going to need, not actually what I know I need. The exception is the Thug, which has been redesigned by Griggins. Now, I watched Lathrix's last couple videos fighting the Onyx Watch, and he had a lot of success lobbing EMPs at him from his missile ship. Or not his missile ship, but his battleship that carried tons of missiles. So I'll be trying a similar thing, but rather from a dedicated missile ship and on a much smaller scale. So essentially going into the battle, the EMP missiles will knock as many turrets out as possible, making the job for the gunships that much easier. In theory, my missiles are all long range and are effective from about 1900 meters in, so I don't have to wait till within 950. I can start lobbing it pretty quick. As well as, unlike the DWG, I set the orbit or rotating distance from the target. Instead of about 900 to 1000, I upped it for all my ships to about 12 to 1500 meters. I might set the difficulty up a little later, but not now. I gotta see how we do with these first ships, and I don't want to crank it too high because my biggest fear is running into an Eerie or something way too early. I'm not ready for an Eerie at all. They are the scariest things in the world. Now, if you're saying the Eerie is not so bad, but you have not experienced it since the update, I'd submit you don't know what you're talking about. I admit I'm a noob and I don't have a lot of experience before the update, but I'm pretty sure the Eerie did not carry that anti-shell lasers before, and that makes a huge difference now. But it's not just the Eerie. How about the Bulwark? If one of those rolls through, I'm done. I'm really excited to start this campaign against the Onyx because I really spent a lot of time trying to sort of think what I'm going to need in terms of ships, and this is going to be really exciting to see if it actually, well, if they're effective. Realistically though, it's not until I try to go up those 2 150 count squares next door that's going to be where I really learn whether my ships are good enough or not. Okay, here we go. First battle. This is the new missile ship. Looks like a brick, but it's fast. It's a hydrofoil, goes mid-upper 20s, no problem. It has a layer of metal covering its core, sort of its AI, engines, missile assembly, engine, ammo area, as well as a metal shell. So effectively, 90% of it has 2 layers of metal covering it. And throw in the fast and lurchiness, it's really hard to hit. As you can see here, I figured out the F11 key. And the new Super Thug. Look at it. Beautiful. Gun-mounted shield mechanism. It has some big pluses and a couple of minuses. The obvious plus is the shields are always faced towards the enemy because that's mounted to the gun, giving protection to the gun as well as extra protection to the ship. The biggest minus that I can find at this point is in a big long battle, eventually it gets knocked down. And that part's no bad. By that point, the battle is usually sort of set or decided who's going to win. The worst part is the expense of having to replace that. Do you know how much replacing 3 shield projectors costs? It costs an S-load of crystals, so you gotta make sure your fleet assist vehicle that you have following your fleet has lots of that on board, because you're gonna be using them. I also learned the need to carry oil. In my ignorance, I didn't realize oil was so essential to replace components. Then I lost a couple barrels off the Thug and I had to replace them on the field, and realized suddenly, wow, oil is important. Okay, what does our enemy actually look like? Onyx Watch, from my limited observation, appears to be just basically guns. Mostly crams and a few advanced, but I really haven't seen anything else offensive from them. Hey, on a side note, does anybody recognize this music from somebody else's video? I could be wrong, but I swear I've heard it on at least one of Irelan Gaming's videos. I'm pretty sure it's the same one. So, in a perfect world, what's going to happen now is the missile ship will lay a bunch of EMP missiles onto this big ugly chunk of metal over to our left, shut a few of the turrets down, rendering the punishment he can chuck over at us a lot less. That's the theory. I'm not sure, but the missile ship really needs to be set up AI-wise to favor the ship that's carrying the most guns. Ah, nice. Looks like the Thug already got a hit. Excellent. You can actually really see the difference in accuracy improvement over this version of the Thug. We're hitting him pretty good right off the bat. The barrel length is, I think, about 2 more meters longer, as well as it's a much stabler platform now, which I think is the biggest difference. I forgot to see if my missiles have fired yet. But I'm presuming they have, but I forgot to look where they went. Here we go. Not exactly the torrent I was anticipating. The 2 thugs are getting some very good hits though. Okay, I could easily be wrong, but I believe this might be a Warden, don't quote me on that, and this little thing is a Telemachus. I guarantee you, in the States, the Telemachus would quickly get abbreviated to a T-Mac. Telemachus is just too much of a mouthful for most American folk. Now, since I'm a noob that also does some research on how to play this game, I know you can tell I'm not actually an American. But I live very close to the States and I know a lot of Americans. And although what I said was a huge generalization, as far as the YouTube videos, it seems to kind of be the truth. Okay, the Thug's guns are not... Oh, I see why. I wish I'd saw the shot or hit that did that damage. Well, at least the other Thug is still kicking. Yeah, I am very happy what the Thug has evolved into. Actually, more evolved. This was a revolutionary step this time. Yeah, he's on the ropes now. Barely any offense left at all. The Thug now has such a huge punch, basically two 1400 something millimeter crams. So when you get a double hit, it makes a difference. That said, it's very much the finishing punch. It really isn't a setup punch. It doesn't have the nimbleness or the ability to quickly rotate onto a target. So I would call it the right cross as opposed to a jab if you want to compare it to a punch. Maybe next episode, but certainly by the one after that, I will have a sort of a Thug sort of baby brother out. Basically, recognize that the Thug is essentially a right cross, and then so the new ship will be a jab. It will also mean that I won't have to depend on the missile ships so much, resulting in, I think, better battles, because we really want to see gunfire. We don't want to see ships just getting shut down by electronic warfare. As I've seen in other people's video, it can get too reliant on the EMP missiles, and I want to try avoid that. So because of that, I doubt whether I'll ever go into battle with more than one missile ship in the fleet, but we'll see. Yeah, because those 150 squares just to the left there, yeah, I'm apprehensive to say the least. And if I have to bring two missile ships in to get the job done, well, that's what's going to happen. Can't be much left to do. This is when I wish the other cram on the other Thug was going, so we could just get this battle sorted out that much sooner, but oh well, it's going to happen. Patience. My worry right now is hopefully getting the cram on the other Thug fixed in time so we can go into the other battles without having to go back for repairs. I'm pretty sure my inadequate fleet supply vessel doesn't have enough oil and stuff to rebuild a whole turret like that, so we'll see. Fortunately too, I noticed the Onyx Watch debris carries a lot more good stuff than the DWG debris, so we might be able to just scavenge enough on the field. We'll see. Yeah, we'll go pick up some of that stuff.
Moving out.
Then go right at it to that square in the north there. This one should be quite easy though, it's only an 11. Let's see what the gun actually looks like with our own eyes. How repaired is it? You know, not bad. I think it's good enough. spooky looking sky. Okay, let's F11 it and just see what we got here. And this is it? Okay, this is gonna last a big 10 seconds here. Even a scuttle gun could tear this thing apart. Okay, and then final battle of the day, I'm presuming. And with the magic of television, instantly set up. I consider ourselves pretty lucky today. I thought I was going to have to do a much more sort of battle and repair. But so far today, because the squares I guess haven't been too hard, we've been able to just sort of take all three battles one after the other, and then we'll sort of concentrating on repairing afterwards. This thing is not pretty, but it's barely 100,000 RP, and you can't argue with its effectiveness. Okay, we got kind of a weird sky lighting thing going on now. Never seen this before. Okay, this could be interesting. There's one fairly big ship in the middle surrounded by a few smaller ships, which hopefully, well, not hopefully for him, but not hopefully for me, will be distraction. We need the EMPs to hit this thing fairly quick and shut down some of these turrets ASAP. Okay, now I'm thinking maybe this is the warden. See, my noobness is you know, it's like a license to be wrong though. It makes it a lot easier when I make a mistake. Just say, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm a noob. You know, about the noob label, too many people take way too much offense to it. If you're a noob, you're a noob. It's not an insult, just what you are. Deal with it. In the online game I used to play a lot, there'd be so many guys that literally in their first week acting so insulted when you referred to them as a noob. It's like, oh, I don't even know what to say about that. Other than it's kind of pathetic. So in this video, I've kind of insulted Americans, and I've made noobs feel, well, actually, sensitive people feel bad. So yeah, this is probably not the video to build more audience. My videos are only for people with tough skins. Oh, good. Hit him with a cram right off the bat. We really need to be laying more of a hurting on this guy though. And the missiles are targeting something which really isn't very effective anyway. There we go. More of that. And quickly, there is nothing left on him that can hurt us. That's interesting. It can't shoot anything, but it can still repair stuff. These little Telemachuses, or T-Max, they are very hard to hit with a cram. They don't move fast, but they're so tiny that you waste a lot of time trying to hit them. Okay, here. Big ship is starting to melt. The little boats can't be long. These T-Max are actually pretty cute. That said, I'm surprised they even float. That's all, folks. I'll get working on the next episode right away. We'll bring out the new torpedo ship to fill out our fleet. Oh, and I think I want to establish a second fleet as well as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. See you soon.